All right, by now, many of us have been infected with COVID, experienced a range of symptoms and sickness, and been fortunate enough to survive. Many of us have people close to us who've not been so lucky. Until it touches someone close to you, it's hard to understand how devastating it can be. For me, one of those people was my friend and our colleague, Dr. Brian Rosenblatt. Brian's COVID battle is a story of how tragic COVID can be. It's a story of struggle, setbacks, triumphs, and tenacity with a happy ending and, even better, a love story to boot. And I do not exaggerate. Brian got engaged to the love of his life, Angel, on October 1st of last year. Just after this wonderful news, both Angel and Brian came down with COVID, and while Angel recovered, Brian became progressively more ill, was hospitalized and put on life support, yet continued to decline. He was put on a ventilator and his system shut down. A lung support team was flown in to save him. He was put on ECMO and flown to a level 1 trauma center. He remained critically ill and on 2 life support machines. He had to be resuscitated twice. He beat pneumonia and sepsis while fighting COVID. After almost 2 months in a coma, he started to come out of it in late December, entered rehab in early January, and the beginning of the rest of his life began on January 11th when he and Angel were married. He finally left the rehab facility on January 29th. I'd be remiss not to mention Angel again, who stood by Brian's side the entire time, supporting him, keeping everyone informed on his progress and setbacks, and was a shining light for him through this ordeal. Angel is truly that, an angel. I'm so lucky to be able to say Brian is here with us today, and not just in reference to our show. Brian, I'm speaking for your friends and the industry when I say our wishes came true when we heard you were going to survive. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that.
It's tough, man. What an ordeal. You know, for those of you who don't know Brian, he's a guy who pushed himself professionally, running a private practice, and is an executive at B&L, and personally as a competitive biker. And I'd like to tell you that while I'm super happy you recovered, I look forward to your Cowboys not recovering.
Well, your Redskin, your Washington football team, they have their challenges as well.
They do. They do. But
the big news for my Cowboys is this contract with Dak Prescott.
Let's talk playoff spot. Let's talk playoff spot.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
so who knows what's going to happen with that?
You've been through a lot. Brian's got trouble sometimes catching his breath and talking, and you'll see both of us get a little emotional today. Just tell our viewers what you remember.
So my last memory before I woke up out of the coma was actually Angel waking me up in our home saying that I was in distress, and our bedroom was on the 2nd level of our house, and she literally, at that time I was 185 pounds of solid muscle, and Angel is not that, and she put me over her shoulder and carried me down the stairs, put me in the car, and that's all I remember. Angel is from Kentucky, where I'm located right now. We have a family issue we're dealing with here with Angel's father, and just as Angel was by my side, then I don't even know she was by my side because I was unconscious. She wants to be, and I want to be by her father and my newfound father-in-law to support him in his struggles. But anyway, so Angel wasn't from New Jersey, where I'm from, and took me to a local community hospital where I was checked into the ER. And again, I don't remember any of this. And the doctors in the ER apparently put me on a ventilator, and my heart and lungs both stopped functioning. As Angel explains it to me, oh boy.
Take your time, Brian.
That picture's killing me.
I'm sorry.
My lungs hardened where the ventilator wouldn't work anymore. So Angel, being an ICU nurse for 25 years, discussed my condition with the doctor there. And they both agreed that I needed something called ECMO. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with ECMO, it stands for external cardiac I forget what it stands for, but it's an acronym for a device that is only found in trauma centers that bypasses your heart and your lungs. And as Angel explains it to me, and I'm not going to show you the scars. I can show you some of the scars in my neck, but a tube is placed in your groin, in your inguinal artery. And she said it was the width of a garden hose. And that garden hose takes the blood out of your body, puts it through this machine. It filters all the toxins out of your blood, oxygenates your blood, and then that tube is reinserted into your neck, into your carotid, or your venous. I don't know which, I guess it's the vein, but you might be able to see the scars. I don't know if you can. But, and then that device was actually found at the University of Pennsylvania. For those of you, UPenn is among the top 5 medical centers in the world. And when Angel called them and told them about my condition, they didn't want to take me because of my predisposed cancer. For those of you who don't know me very well, I also have lymphoma and leukemia, diagnosed October 31st of 2017. And I've been fighting that since then. And fortunately, my way of life and my physical fitness has kept me away from needing chemotherapy or any treatment for my cancer. But the cancer, my underlying cancer, is what created such a difficult situation for my my body to fight the COVID. This picture you see right now is me and my brother in a triathlon. I trained him to compete in a triathlon because some years ago, because he wanted to do something physical. He wasn't very athletic. But anyway, so that's my race team. I raced on a bicycle team, and there I am racing a sport called cyclocross. So anyway, and that's a type of bicycle racing. But anyway, so Angel pleaded with them. And one of the things I will never forget is she told the doctors at the University of Pennsylvania that they don't know the guy laying in his bed right now, but he's a fighter, and he'll make it if you just take him under your wing. And she convinced them. And they sent the helicopter with a trauma team and a heart and lung team to the local hospital in a helicopter to come get me. And they hooked me up to this device. But apparently before they got there, my heart and lungs failed, and they resuscitated me with the paddles for the first time. And then they flew me to the University of Pennsylvania, where the heart and lung team was waiting for me, and they took me under their wing. And again, I don't know about any of this. I'm only telling you this from what I was told. And I was put into a medically induced coma to preserve my organs. And I was in a coma for 6 weeks. And then when they took all the paralytics, because for those of you who are not familiar with what a medically induced coma does to you, they paralyze you. And you're put on life support. And I have scars all over my body from the different tubes. And you can, like I said, I was on a tracheotomy. I had a tracheotomy tube put in to ventilate my lungs. Once they took me off of the ECMO device. And apparently, after they took me off all the paralytics, I still didn't wake up. And they told Angel to prepare herself that I was probably not going to survive. They said people that go under an ECMO device have a 2% of survival.
Oh my God.
And those people that do survive typically have a brain hemorrhage, and they're really in bad shape from a brain standpoint. Now, for those of you who do know me, know that I'm whacked out to begin with. So having a little brain injury probably wasn't any worse than what I was beforehand.
Yeah, little brain
but apparently, the only brain injury I suffered was during this condition I developed called press syndrome. And COVID can induce this condition called PRES. PRES is a condition by which your blood pressure drastically increases and causes micro strokes in the brain. So I had a micro stroke in my left occipital lobe, which left me with vision loss in my right eye, as well as my hearing in my right ear, and just paralysis in my hands, my right hand. You might be able to tell that I can't straighten, to this day, I still can't straighten out my hand. Oh, there it is. I can't straighten out my hand, and I can't make a fist either. And fortunately, the vision loss recovered and the hearing loss recovered. But occupational therapy and the exercises that I do are, I'm slowly regaining some control over my right hand. Fortunately, I'm left-handed. So my intention is to get back to practice at some point. I'm going to relocate to Florida, where I can wake up and see a palm tree every day instead of the snow in New Jersey. And so on May 19th, I'm actually going to be taking, going through all the rounds of national boards all over again from 35 years ago. And I hope that I'll have regained full function of my hands, because part 3 is a clinical, you have to examine patients. But I think I'll be okay. I lost 50 pounds while I was in the hospital, complete muscle atrophy. I did not have 50 pounds to lose. There's a picture of me. I have 50 pounds light. And that's Angel, my true angel. And the support that she gave me, her family, my family, and all the people out there that supported me, I can't thank you enough. I don't know how to thank you enough. I just hope that a verbal thank you is enough. And if there's anything that I'm capable of doing for the hundreds to thousands of people that reached out to support me, I want to give it back and pay it back somehow. So if there's anything I can ever do for you, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll do the best I can.
You did it, Brian. You did what you did.
I don't want to bore you with any more of the details of my condition, but all I'm telling you is when you wake up in the morning, cherish every moment of your life and tell the people that you know that you love them, because you can go to sleep one day and never wake up. I left my practice on a Tuesday, went to a testing facility, tested positive, and woke up 4 months later. And I'm thankful I woke up. And it's a struggle and a battle. And I have difficulty walking, but I can walk. And I have, like I said, I lost all my muscle mass. But I'm back in the gym, and there I am leaving the rehabilitation facility in a place called Kessler. And all the staff that took care of me were behind me. And it was it's a very emotional thing for me. And I apologize for breaking down.
No, look, let me take over here for a minute while you pull yourself together. You mentioned what you could do for everyone who helped you, and that's just the kind of guy you are. You would have said that. You already did it. You fought, and you won. And that's what we wanted. You know, that one of my dreams in 2020 was to see you recover and have you back and hang out with you at shows and interview you. And we're doing that now. It's like a dream come true to those people who supported you. So thank you. You did your job. And now we can do anything we can to get your life back to how it was before. And that's really what I think everybody would want right now.
I truly appreciate that, Alan. And those of you who know Alan know that he, I know everybody knows Alan, but he always puts everybody else ahead of himself. And he sent me one of the most touching texts that I have ever received, when he stated that what made his life better was knowing that I survived. And Alan and I became close friends when I was an executive at Bausch & Lomb. And we've spoken quite a few times. And he is truly a shining light in our profession and in the human race. And if anybody can ever do anything to support Alan, I implore you to do so, because he has supported our profession and just people in a mannerism that I can't even describe. And from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank Alan and all the people that supported me. It was my intention to thank all the people that supported me individually, personally. And when I found out that there was literally thousands of people that expressed their concern for me, I realized this just wasn't physically possible. And I still have reduced lung volume. You might be able to hear it, that I kind of gasp for air every now and then. And so I intend on making another video and posting it on my Facebook account. And I'm going to ask Alan to help me. And I know that this video might even suffice, but you take life for granted. And for those of you who think COVID is a joke, trust me when I tell you, COVID is no joke. And you can I thank myself, and I thank whoever it is upstairs in the clouds that I'm not among that 500,000 people that didn't survive. Because as I told you, some of the best doctors in the world gave me a 2% chance of survival, which meant I had a 98% chance of not surviving. And even if I did survive, that I'd be permanently disabled. And I beat all the odds. And I truly, truly think that it was due to 4 different factors. 1, my angel, who is my wife. All of you who have supported me and prayed for me. The doctors at University of Pennsylvania. And whoever it is that exists in heaven, who sent me back twice and said it wasn't my turn, then I guess I had to spread this message to everyone else. And those are the 4 factors that I have to contribute or attribute my survival to. Everybody says that it was me, that I fought really hard. Well, I don't even know I was fighting. I was unconscious. So, therefore, I don't take any credit for my survival. I thank all of you. And if you don't think that prayer and support doesn't have a tremendous effect on somebody, I am the living example of that it does. And when I first met Angel, she told me that the number 111 had some significance to her. And it kept appearing in multiple things that she encountered. Well, you see that picture right there? That is taken on January 1st. January 11th of 2021. And I guess that's why it was so significant to her. She didn't know that we were going to get married while I was in the hospital on January 11th. And that the person behind us is the CEO of the rehabilitation center I was in. And he made an exception because in New Jersey, somewhere just around Thanksgiving, or I think it was in the whole country, the country shut down visitations in any type of hospital facility. Angel was by my side the entire time I was unconscious. And when I woke up, I saw those big, beautiful eyes staring at me. And I thought I had died and went to heaven. And she was, and all the doctors were standing there. And they were all in tears. Couldn't believe that I survived. And when I was in that rehabilitation facility, Angel called and spoke to the CEO of the hospital and said, "We need to get married." And I told Angel I couldn't live another day not being married to her for what she did for me. At University of Pennsylvania, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with this story,
No,
but
this is great.
my memory is a little, this comes in pieces also.
It's going great. It's very cognizant. Yeah, just keep
when I was at UPenn, she argued with the doctors that some of the leading doctors in the world and made them justify everything that they did to me. And then relayed that 2 to 3 times a day and put it all into English to my and her family so that they would understand what I was going through and what she was going through. And then they kicked her out of the hospital just before Thanksgiving. And she called the CEO of the hospital at the rehabilitation center that they put me in and pleaded with him to let her come and marry us. And he agreed to do it. So I was the only exception in the state of New Jersey that was allowed to visit her. So Angel came there on January 11th, and we got married. And the day that I got released from the rehabilitation center, the whole staff knew the significance at the rehabilitation center of the number 111. So the day I got released, the entire staff at the hospital came down to the lobby, stood behind me, and clapped and said, and counted down until the time on the clock was 1:11. And I went through that doorway at 1:11. And there were people outside, friends and family, giving me a standing ovation. And I said to them, under no circumstances am I going through this doorway in a wheelchair. So the CEO allowed me to stand me up and put me in a walker. And I walked out of that facility. And it was one of the most amazing things that I ever experienced. And soon after I got home, I had to climb those 13 steps to get to my bedroom. And I did it. And I said to Angel, send back the wheelchair and get rid of that walker, because I am going to walk on my own. And for those of you who are going through any type of life-threatening or something that you think takes you down, you put it in your heart that you can make it, and dig deep, just as I did. And just remember that if you think positively enough, you'll overcome whatever you have to. Your brain has to control your body. And right now, my father-in-law is undergoing some pretty serious conditions. And I keep telling him every day, you got to stay positive. And he's doing his best. And that's why I'm here in Kentucky with my wife, Angel. We're trying to support him. And we know he'll make it as long as he keeps his mind positive. And then, so I would ask all of you to not just keep me in your minds, but my father-in-law, Howard Brown, in your minds, and help him get through what he's fighting. And the next time you see me, I hopefully I'll be on my boat with my father-in-law with a fishing pole, which I will make only one exception for him, to have a fishing pole extended off the back of my boat, and with a big smile on his face.
Well, we'll keep.
And anybody who ever comes to Florida, you look me up in the Sarasota area, because I'd love to meet and meet every one of you and just shake your hands and say thank you so very much for all you did for us. And Alan, anything else you want me to say, or anything you have to say?
It was just so incredible. Howard Brown, that's your father-in-law. We'll all
yes,
keep
sir.
in our thoughts and prayers. And for Angel, especially for Angel, I'll put this segment up in Odie's on Facebook at 1:11 p.m. How's that for now with Angel? And then for you, my friend, this has just been it's incredibly brave of you to tell your story, to show your emotions. And it really is going to drive this message home to a lot of people how serious this was. We love you. We appreciate having you here. And, you know, it was a great day for a miracle as I scarf this off your Facebook page. But listen, thank you for agreeing to come on. And, you know, you're going to be thanking a lot of people with this. So consider them personally thanked when we post this. And I want you to take care, and we'll talk this week and catch up. And then I want to be the first person on that boat, though. That's the one thing I'm going to ask.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, bud.
The last time we spoke live, I was actually sitting on the end of my boat. And I told you if you ever came to New Jersey that you needed to come and we go out of my boat. But I know that you probably have a slightly busy life.
I think a boat in Florida is much more attractive than a boat in New Jersey, you know?
Oh, I would totally agree with you. All
right, my friend. Well, listen, be well, and let's catch up real soon again. And look forward to having you back.
I look forward to it.
Further down the road to tell your story from here to then. And everybody is so proud of you.
Yeah, I'll show you a before and after picture of what I look like now. Although it's very depressing to take a picture of me right now with my shirt off. But when I get it all back, I'll have you post the before and after to show what a person with COVID became and then how I overcame it. So
sounds like a deal.
It's going to take a while, but stay tuned, everybody. I'm back.
All right, bud. Be well. We'll talk soon.
You take care, Alan. Thank you so much for giving me this time. And thank you so much for acknowledging everything that my angel did for me and what everybody out there in the OD community did for me. And again, once again, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Godspeed to all of you. And I guess that's it.
Yep. Take care, bro.